You guys aren't going to believe this, and I stumbled across it. 15% of our food here in the United States of America is imported. 15% of our food comes from other countries. That's a huge problem. And I'm going to tell you why it's a problem. It's a massive problem. And I'll give you a good comparison too as to why it could be a very costly problem. I mean, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. This is Spazzing Out, America's podcast. I do the podcast live. I do a live stream on Rumble, Twitter, YouTube, sometimes on Twitch, but for the most part, it is on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitter. Or you could go to anthonypazziali.com and get all my videos. You could stream or you can listen to my podcast on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify. Subscribe. Please subscribe to one of the platforms that I'm on. And if you don't, listen, here's the deal. Maybe you just came across this. Get through it enough to get me that advertising buck. I mean, it's not even a buck. It's like a cent. Give me the click so that I can get a cent. Help me out. Help a brother out. All right, here's the deal. For whatever reason, I came across the I don't know how I happened on to the Food and Drug Administration's website. I have no clue, but I did, and I started reading up on food. And one of the things on their website says that 15% of our food supply comes from other countries. Here's more. 1/3, just over 30% of vegetables, fresh vegetables, come from other countries. Over 15% of our fruits come from other countries. Over 90% of the seafood we eat comes from other countries. And somewhere around 10% of the beef, it's a year-to-year thing, somewhere from 10 to 20%, but we'll just say 10, we'll go on the low end. 10% of beef comes from other countries. Now, we do a great job with our grain and our wheat. And of course, we make enough grain and wheat to export it. We and farm and vegetable, like we export a lot. We export a lot of shit. But here's the deal. Let's go one by one, right? We'll start with beef. At first, when I realized that 8% of the beef, we were importing 8% of the beef, or I'm sorry, 10% of the beef, I thought to myself, you know what? That's not that bad. It's no big deal. Why don't we eat everybody else's cattle? Why don't we eat everybody else's meat? And I kind of felt the same thing with the seafood. I was like, you know what? Let them plunder their seafood all over the world. So I was thinking about the cattle. I'm looking up and I'm like, let me see what kind of meat is being imported. So I come to find out that the reason that we import meat and so much of it is because it's cheap meat. It's the meat that makes the burgers. It's the McDonald's meat, right? It's the Hamburger Helper meat. Is there meat in Hamburger Helper? I haven't had it in such a long time. I'm guessing, yeah, it's ground meat, right? It's the sloppy Joe meat. It's the shit lean meat. Very cheap, very inexpensive. It's the meat that all of us eat. It's me, you. It's the middle class. That's what we're fucking eating. The shit meat. Most of the meat, most of the beef that actually is being raised, is that what you say? Raised here in the United States is premium beef. Premium beef. So it's fatty beef. It's not lean. This is what the website said. It's not lean beef. So we have to import the cheap meats from other countries. That's a big problem. So now think about this. Here's the other thing, right? The ranchers and the people that are doing it, they make more money selling the more expensive beef. By making it good, the Wagyu. I don't know if you get Wagyu, where the fuck it comes from, but you know what I mean. The good cuts that are being made here in the United States are cutting out the opportunity for the lean beef. So we don't have any lean beef growers, not many, here in the United States. And listen, 10% is a lot. And I'm going to explain it to you like this. What happened when Joe Biden said we are not going to take any oil from Russia anymore? Russia made up about 8% of our oil. We got about 8% of our oil from Russia. The second we stopped getting it, you saw the prices go sky high. Now, that's not the only reason the prices were high before, because I can't get in this debate with you people. Before Putin went to war, gas prices were close to $4 a gallon. So please, we're not fighting about that. But what I'm saying is the second that we decided to cut out 8% of our import, gas went through the roof. What do you think would happen if other countries, we get a lot of our beef from Mexico, from Brazil, from Canada. What if these other countries and China, what if these other countries decided we're not going to send beef to the United States of America anymore? What if these other countries had their own food supply problem? That's a lot for the United States of America to lose close to 8% of its lean beef product. People would be fucking, forget it. Bro, could you imagine the price of a fucking cheeseburger if we lost that? Now take it to the next level. 30% of our vegetables come from other countries. Imagine if other countries said, nah, we're not sending you any fresh veggies anymore. You're not going to get any peppers from, I don't know, from fucking Chile. They're not coming here anymore. Brazil's not sending anything up. Let's just say a war happened. Anything, something crazy. Bud, again, using the oil. You lost 8% of your oil supply. When we said we ain't taking oil from Russia, it was devastating to the economy. Can you imagine what it would be like if you lost 30% of your vegetables? Now, I get it. A lot of people don't think they eat vegetables, but they fucking do. I do. I had bell peppers last night. My wife made stuffed. My wife she double dipped. She used lean meat and made stuffed peppers. Could you imagine what the cost of a stuffed pepper would be? Honestly, I think the peppers was like 3 or 4. You know, it came in a pack. I want to say it was like $2.99. And the ground beef wasn't, I mean, it was expensive, but it wasn't that bad, right? Let's say it was $10. So, bro, if we lost 8% of our lean beef coming in from other countries, if we lost 30% of our vegetables coming in from other countries, that'd be $150 for fucking 3 stuffed peppers. People would be going hungry. We'd be starving. That's a lot. It's a lot. And then we go with the fruits. Over 50% of our fruit come from other fucking countries. Fruit is in like everything. Apples, bananas. I love apples and bananas. I haven't had a banana in a long time. I do love a banana with some peanut butter on it. It's pretty good. What I personally love apples. I don't skin them. I eat them, you know, like chuck them out. What else do I love? Pineapple, cantaloupe, watermelon. These are all good. Vegetable wise, I'm a big broccoli guy. I love broccoli and cheese. But anyways, what we're going to try to get is this is a huge problem. And then the seafood thing, forget it. 90% of the seafood comes from other countries. Imagine if that went away. So basically, we're getting 10% of the seafood from off our shores. If the other 90% went away, could you imagine what a lobster roll would cost up this way? Lobster rolls are already like $30. You'd be paying $1,000. Lobster would be like fucking gold. You'd be trading lobsters instead of Bitcoin. You'd be trading lobster, and it'd be more valuable. I mean, anything's more valuable than the US dollar. But you get my point. It's dangerous. And no one really talks about it. That's what scared me the most. What scared me the most about the fact that we get 15% of our food from other countries is that I didn't fucking know. I didn't know. I don't pay attention to it. I go to the grocery store. I shop. It's no big deal. I don't think about it. I just happened on it. And then it just dawned on me. I'm like, oh my God. If we don't stop producing more food in the United States, we're going to be in trouble. Now, there are people that are going to say, because we export a lot of food. As a matter of fact, our farming food, the grains, the wheats, the corns, and stuff like that, we export more than we take in. It makes, and listen, they make a ton of money. There's people, the few, I don't know who the farmers are. I don't know if there's like 2 or 3 big farms, or if there's one big farm, and if there's 1, 2, 3 big meat company here in the United States. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know. I'm sure they're making billions of dollars, and I'm sure that's why they import shitty fucking meat and then sell it here, and then they sell the good beef from here. I get it. But that's a huge problem for the United States of America. We need to start creating more food here in this country for our country, for Americans. Now, it's easy. I'm guessing. You know what? I really don't know how easy it is to start growing vegetables and to start growing, more fruits here in the United States. I don't know how easy it is. No clue. I'm guessing that it's not that easy to start growing shitty cattle. You know, like for farmers and ranchers, for that, to me, or maybe we don't have the space. Maybe we don't have the food to feed them. Think of that. My head just fucking exploded. Maybe now I have to look up how much feed, we'll call it, do we have to take from other countries to feed our meat source here, to feed our beef source? We're in a fucking tough spot. That's just an amazing number. You have to understand the significance of that. 15% of your food supply comes from other countries. When 8% of our oil supply got cut off by Russia, or Joe Biden decided not to take it, and I think everybody agrees that, like, me personally, dude, I'll take fucking oil from anybody. I like, people get pissed that, like, don't take it from Venezuela, don't take it from the Saudis, don't take it from Russia, bro. I'll fucking take it from anywhere. I want gas to be fucking 10 cents a gallon. Don't give a fuck where it comes from. But truth be told, should be created right here in the United States of America. We should be oil sufficient. We should be oil independent for the same reason we need to be food independent. And electric fuel, or what do they call electric power, isn't going to be enough. Solar panels and wind turbines make up less than 1% of the energy created in the United States of America. So we need to have more oil created here, more oil, more gas created right here in the United States. Right here, bought here too, because the shit goes to the open market. We need to figure out a way to buy it here, or we need to flood the market so that it stays here. And then we need to create food, more food here in the United States. We need to get back to farming. The farmers are so critical to our country. We should be giving tax benefits to people that are going to use their land to raise lean beef cattle. That's the shitty beef. We should be giving tax breaks to people that are going to throw up some banana fields. Are they called banana fields? Orchards, banana orchards, I guess, because they hang on trees. Apple orchards. Pineapples? I don't know. Can you grow fucking pineapples in the United States? Some pineapples, I love those. Peaches, oranges. People don't like, you know what? No one really likes oranges. I love them. Without the seeds, man. Fucking engineer those. I personally love the genetically engineered fruit that doesn't have fucking seeds in it. It's delicious. We need to start growing that stuff here. And I don't have to go on for hours about it. It's simple. It's very simple. When you took out 8% of the oil here in the United States, it caused a huge inflation problem in our country. If you take out 15% of our food supply, it'll cause way more inflation. And I'm telling you right now, it'll cause violence because people will start going hungry. And when people start going hungry, they start breaking into your house and they start taking what you got. And I'm not talking, because there are plenty hungry people here in the United States. I'm talking about thousands of people that won't have access to cheap food if 15% of it goes away. Because the cheap food will become the expensive food. Does that make sense to you? The cheap burger, the cheap meat, the cheap vegetable will now be something an upper middle class person can only afford. And that leaves all the other people that are down around the poverty line, they're fucked. Fucked. Riots. Absolute. This country will go into a goddamn tailspin if we weren't getting that 15%. So we need someone like Donald Trump. And hopefully Trump understands that. If I get to talk to Trump, I'm going to be like, yo, bro, do you know that 15% of our food gets made elsewhere? We need to figure that out. Or we need to be ready. We need that. It's like the castles, right? So a castle has a big wall built around it. And they're like, yeah, we can survive 3 years without leaving this place because we got plenty of food here. Well, how long can we survive here in the United States? Can we survive 3 years without that 15%? Or, I mean, I guess a lot of people would die from starvation. I guess there'd be a lot of fights, and then eventually the food supply that we have here would be all right. We're not ready for it. If the only cattle we're growing is premium cattle and we're not creating cattle for shit food, and by shit food, I mean cheeseburgers, Hamburger Helper, tacos. What else? I love sloppy joes, things like that, cheap meat for stuff like that. We need to start raising cattle for that. Maybe I'm going to fuck it. I should go buy a piece of land and start raising shit meat cattle. Shit meat cattle. Pazziali's shit meat cattle. Sounds like a good idea. It's a dangerous thing. And this is why I can't stand what's going on right now in the House of Representatives. They need to pick a speaker and they need to get it done now because we need to get back to the people's work and we need to put America first and we need to start creating everything here in America. Food needs to be created here. Oil needs to be dug here. Natural gas needs to be dug here. Manufacturing jobs need to happen. Everything needs to happen right here in the United States of America so that when shit goes down, because France is apparently sending tanks to the Ukraine, the United States is considering sending some tanks to fucking Ukraine. If we're heading into a war that looks like we could be heading into a world war, those food supply chains are going to get cut off. And we're going to need our own oil. And we're going to need our own food. And we're going to need our own equipment. We're going to need to be able to do it right here in the United States of America. So we have to get to work on that immediately. All right. Thanks for listening.